Johannes.
And this is Sunniva.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome back to Keep Our Cull, where we play through our ever-growing collection of 600 plus games and decide if we want to keep them or cull them.
That is true. We are back with a new batch of games. This time we have 8 new games for you that we played. And now we're going to keep our cull them. You already explained the series. So let's not do it again. Let's start with the keeping and the culling. Maybe you can start.
Yes, it's a little game here. I almost opened it up and emptied out all its contents. Oriflamme.
Oriflamme, are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom!
I think this is a really neat game and it's so small. It's easier to keep the small games. It's my excuse.
You never use that excuse when I keep the smaller games.
And then I say, if we're keeping all of the small games, it's a big pile. But I really like this game. I liked it from the first time we played it. Mm-hmm. It's a very simple game where you're playing cards into a queue and then they are very interactive with each other. So you can kill other players' cards, you can get points depending on like what the other cards are out, and you want to be basically the person with the most points in total. It's like this Game of Thrones-ish theme with the backstabbing and stuff, but I think it's really cleverly done and I think it's very easy to get into.
Okay, I think it's fun.
I want to keep it.
I don't, yeah.
Is it keep pile over there?
Keep pile is always at my side. Next
Yes.
up then we have La Isla from Stefan Feld, one of his smaller games. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom!
Yes, I think that La Isla is a cute and fun little game.
It's fun.
I like the multi-use cards in this game. It's always interesting when you have cards and you want to, but I really want to use this for that, and you have some special abilities that are cool as well. But overall, I think it's not that an amazing game. What do you think?
It's one of his lighter games, which is fine, but it's kind of like it has some fun with 4 players. I think it's pretty good. Like if you are looking for a lighter, smaller Stefan Feld game, this one is great. I think it's a fun game, but it's not one I'm gonna miss to if I never play it again, basically.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the deal of this show.
Yes.
So we have more games. Next up is a brand new game, and you might ask now, why is this not on the Shelf of Shame? And it's basically. We might do some, which we might do like we did last year, like some like all new game Keep Our Culls, like kind of like a mini rambling reviews. But this kind of was not on the shelf when we started the Shelf of Shame project, and that was kind of like the deal that only the new games that we hadn't played before New Year's was on that show. So this one then is going to be here. And Mr. Carcasson is kind of interesting game. It is a brand new Carcasson, which is cooperative. So you're playing, it's basically a lot of the same as normal Carcasson, but you're playing against these ghosts that you don't want to have too many ghosts, kind of like in Pandemic. You don't want to run out of the cubes, you don't want to run out of the ghosts. If you run out of the ghosts, then you lose. Every time you score points, you can choose to score the points or to take away some ghosts from tiles. And basically there's different scenarios, different like levels that you can play through. And the first one is basically like getting 50 points before the ghosts run out, and then you're going to get more points, but also the pile is going to be in different piles. The pile is going to be in different piles. English. And then you have to like get to this amount of point before you end the first one, so you have more of a rush. And you're adding these graveyards and castles and all of that to add the game more and more difficult. Like a good co-op game should have different difficulty levels. So let's do the paddle thing.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom! It was fun.
Yeah. I really like Carcasson. I think it's a super cool and simple game that we've played a lot.
Yeah.
But what I really like about Carcasson is how fast it is. And I think I like the concept of doing...
Yes.
I'm super stoked about that. But it really slowed the pace for me personally, because you can't... when it's your turn, I can't look at my tile and be like, oh, I'm thinking about because...
Which you're not supposed to do per the rules, but it's the house rule that everybody uses. Even I, who hates house rules.
And that really slows down the pace, and it makes it less enjoyable for me, because that is the main reason I like Carcasson, is how like fast and snappy it is.
When we play Carcasson, the few times we do, we like to play it with 2 players. And I think, though, if you enjoy Carcasson and you like co-op games, like I like Carcasson and I don't really like co-op games, I think this works really well.
Yes.
So I think, like, if you like those 2 things, you will enjoy this, and I recommend checking it out if you are, like, a Carcasson fan and a co-op fan. But for us, not one that I would choose to play. Next up, we have a classic game. This is Alan Moore's. This is Alan Moon, not Moore. I was like, there's something wrong. Alan Moon's Airlines Europe. And if you remember seeing this name and never the game, it's the same designer who did Ticket to Ride.
Yes.
And I always like this better to Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride. Let's see the paddle thing.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom.
Oh, you're calling this. I'm fine with that. I think that Airlines Europe is what Ticket to Rides needs to be.
Yeah, for us.
It's route building, but with something more. It's not the same kind of route building, though. But I really like how you spend money to build like a route. Is that like yeah?
Yeah.
And you also then can like play shares to be like, okay, I have share in this company. I'm going to get these points. But if you reveal what shares you have, then nobody else is gonna want to build in the same company. So that's a little balance there. I really think it's a very fun game for introducing to non-gamers or players who have played Ticket to Ride and wants it to step up.
I think for me I think it's a great game. Like I would probably rate it like a 7.5 or something like that. I think
really
it's a great game. But when we played it now, I had fun. But I was like, yeah, I play this now.
Yeah.
And I played it enough. And we probably played like 10 times.
Yes.
And I was like, do I need to own this game? Will I be sad if I never play it again? And the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
So that is why I chose Cull, and you get to decide.
Yes, I'm on board with that.
You're on board with the culling.
Yes.
Next
okay.
up then is on your side.
Oh, it's my side.
E-I-E-O. It's Beyond the Sun.
Beyond the
That
Sun.
is a game. E-I-E-O.
If you have watched our top 10 that we did recently of games that we really want to play right now, this was on it, so I'm super happy
On
to
yours?
have played it now.
Was it on mine?
Mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we played it. Let's do the paddle thing.
Yes.
That's a new catchphrase. Let's do the paddle thing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, boom.
Oh, you're calling everything today. I'm the keeper. I think this is a great game, but I know you do too.
Yeah.
This is like the tech tree of games. And I think it's really cool that you can choose kind of what direction you want to go in this game.
Yeah.
So you can be like, oh, I want to explore a lot of planets. And then you can go on the tech cards and choose the ones that are going well with your strategy and trying to maximize that. And people are like narrowing themselves in on these like specified, but you're doing a little bit of everything though. But I like the balance of choosing the different techs in this game.
I think it's a great game. And the game, and also it's one of those where I'm like, oh, that's a fantastic game. And now I play it, it's like, it's good. I enjoyed my play of it. Like the beginning was really slow and I was like, okay, is this how this game is? And I had more fun when I did fun stuff at the end and I won. But the 80% of the game I was like, okay, I'm gonna kill this. And then last 20% was like, that is fun. And for me, I think like it's a good game. It's another one we played it a few times when we got it. It's in the same category at Airlines Europe. I'm not going to be sad to not play it again.
Yes.
It is a great game. I will not be sad to have it on the shelf, but I'm not going to be crying for not having it on the shelf.
Yeah, I'm in the same category. So even though I think it's an amazing game, we have so many games that are amazing. I agree. I will not be sad if we call this. So I'm fine with calling it.
Yeah, probably impossible to get again because there'll be grounded games. But
Yes.
Next up, we have another new game called New Eden. We picked this up. One of our Patreon people over on Discord. You can join our Discord, by the way, by clicking the button down in the link down in the description. Somebody picked this up and I was like, oh, what is this? Never heard about it. Then I checked the designer, and it is the same designer who did Crones of Amara, which is a really great game that you might not have heard about. It is super, super good. And I was like, okay, a new game from that designer. That's something we need to check out.
And now we have checked it out.
Ordered it from Amazon.de, waited for it, picked it up at the post office, opened it up, read the rules, brought it to game night, played it. Now it's here. That's the whole story of the game. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom!
And it has some cool elements to it. It really has some unique things that I haven't seen in board games in this way before. It really fits the theme, like this having enough oxygen to do the actions underwater that you need. It's a cool worker placement, a little like push your luck, but not push your luck. But
Push your not luck.
There's a little auction in there as well. That is cool, but overall, it just didn't grab me as much.
No, it was fine. It was a fun experience. I never need to experience it again.
Yeah. Next up, we have Cora.
Rise of an Empire.
Just gonna move this.
No,
Oh,
it's
no.
not allowed. Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Just put it. You can just put it down there.
No.
Okay, it has to be on that
Yes.
pile. Okay, that
I'm
was
very
important.
strict about that.
Yeah, it's very strict. It has to be on the pile. Okay, next up we
Cora.
have Cora, Rise of an Empire. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, boom.
The Cora is great.
Yeah.
But it's like it's yellow that has published it,
Published
and it
it.
says expert.
Expert.
And to be like an expert level board game, it's still pretty light, but for
it's
yellow,
expert for
it's
yellow,
very
yeah.
expert. But I think it's
Boom.
I think it's just overall very cozy.
Yeah.
It's nothing like groundbreaking about it or amazing about it,
Mm-hmm.
but when I played, I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yes.
I really like how you're rolling dice, but it is mitigation in it. But you can be a little lucky or unlucky, but you also then want to choose action to those dice, and it's very, very simple, but it's very fun.
You are rolling dice and taking names. It's the logo there.
Is it the logo? Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
cool.
But yeah, I really like it. It's not like super deep.
No.
But it is just like super fun. It's an hour. It's one of those games. We played it 3 players. The box is 75 minutes. You played it in like an hour.
Yeah.
Shorter than the box set.
Love
Super
it.
quick. A lot of fun decisions in that short, like a perfect medium game in that short amount of time. We only have one more game, which is another new game from Mr. John DeClaire. And John DeClaire is kind of like he's a unique designer. He
Yes.
makes unique designs, and this one is no exception. You are rolling meeples into a box and hoping that they stand up and do work and not lay down and be lazy. and his games has kind of been like an up and down for me. Some games of him I really like, and some was like, nah.
Which of his do you like?
I really like Mystic Whale.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the pirate game,
Yeah.
which I don't remember the name
Yes,
of.
Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning. Edge of Darkness, really good, especially with 2 players, which is
Yes.
sad because it's so big.
Yeah.
And I did not like Ecos.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was him. That
Yes.
was not good.
No, the
Boo.
bingo game. and then we also had, last year we had the Ready Set Bet, which many people said was really good, which is a super different game again, which is like a betting game, horse betting game.
Cubitos, is that also him?
Yeah, that's also him. So he's like a fan of these push your luck elements, which sometimes work, sometimes don't. Let's do the paddle thing for
Yes.
rolling heights. 1, 2, 3, paddle thing.
I think it works though. I really think it works. I think like the rolling on the meeples when you roll a bad roll with I don't know if it's a roll.
Roll or throw,
Yes.
whatever you want.
It feels very bad, but I love that you have to get something first to kind of bust, which I really think is nice. And you also get some compensation if you bust as well.
Yeah.
But all the other things that you do in this game, like collecting resources and using those resources to build buildings, I thought it was neat, but nothing amazing. It didn't, like, all of the other mechanisms didn't, grab me.
I think it was super clever. I think that the city building aspect is fun. Like, I like city building. And it has quite a bit, not quite a bit, but a little bit of player interaction as well,
yes.
with where you place and blocking of people and stuff like that. It was a bit long with 4. I saw people we spent 90 minutes. I heard somebody who's almost 3 hours on a 4-player game, which sounds horrible, but 90 minutes for 4 players is great. I think if you play it with 3 players in a bit more than an hour, like an hour and 15 minutes, I think that makes this the perfect length for this kind of game. So I really want to keep it because I think that I don't have any game in this category, obviously, throwing meeples into a box. And also, I like city building, and I like the way it was done here. And the different ways you got the piles, trying to build them up, and a lot of the neat stuff that I would like to play more.
Yeah.
It might not be like a forever keep, but I would like to play it a few more times before we part ways.
Yeah, you're the keepers, you're deciding.
Yes, and I'm also the color for this episode.
Yes, you are.
So we have 8
I'm
more
impressed.
games. Yes, because how many did you choose keep?
I chose keep on this.
Yes, and this,
and this.
and this, and this.
Yes.
So 4.
Yeah, but
And I chose keep on 2.
yeah.
This has never happened before
No.
in the series. I looked at these games before we started. I was like, oh, I'm proud of myself. I'm going to choose Cull
I'm very
on
proud.
6 games.
Yes, I'm very proud.
And this
boggles my
and
mind
basically we
that-
just chose one each that we
Yeah.
wanted to keep.
Yeah, basically.
What boggles your mind?
It boggles my mind that you want to keep Rolling Heights over Beyond the Sun and Airlines, but
There's
it's
probably one reason.
yeah,
It's new.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because and some we say this is kind of like turning around what we say, because we usually say that the newer the game, the easier it is to cull.
Yes.
And that is true, but I had fun with this. Like New Eden was fine, Carcasson, Mr. Carcasson was fine, but this I really enjoyed, and that's
Yeah.
why I want to play it again.
True.
But these two was good, and you can still change your mind. But these games were fine games. I had fun playing them. Both of them were great experiences, but I'm not gonna miss it. And Cora, I had like the more of a giddy, fun, this is fun all the time experience. I was not bored for any time of it. And yeah, that is the reason.
Worst experience and best experience.
I think. Oh, I'm starting this time.
Yes.
You always thought that. I think
Turning
the
it
best
around.
experience for me probably was Cora.
Yeah.
And also Rolling Heights because it's so different. But Cora, if I have to choose one, which I do. And worst experience was probably probably
There's no word.
No,
like,
I had fun with it. Probably
yeah,
New
fun-
Eden because
fun
I
with everything.
had wanted it to be more fun because it was the same designer did Chronos of Amara, but it was still a fun experience.
yeah, Cora for me and New Eden for me as well.
Boring! You do the same choices as I do. I always do the same as you do most of the time. We are so
Yes.
alike. That's like I like Keep or Cull because we have many. You see more nuanced differences in our taste and then you do in like reviews and stuff like that because we usually align quite a bit. Like probably there's like an 8 or an 8.5 or an 8 or a 7.5, but that can change like the definition of a Keep or a Cull.
Yes.
And I really like Keep or Cull for that because it's also probably better for you to learn more about how our tastes are actually different. And not, we are probably, I would say maybe our tastes align like 90%. But like these are just like some small, like not even a percent like different between like keeping and culling a game.
Yeah,
like,
because sometimes I'm struggling before we actually sit here and film. Like, oh, I'm going over it in my head and be like, oh, but I really want to keep it, but in all the games, you know. And it's so fun that we don't know the answers beforehand because, and we try not to talk a lot about it also, so that when we show our paddle, we have to stand for our, like, do you know, our decision.
I'm just thinking it's kind of weird because when we play games now, like if it's a review, it's fun. But when we play Cora, like, yeah, it's fun. I'm not gonna show you what I feel. But sometimes like,
So
oh, this is
poker
good
face,
because you can't stop it. But sometimes like, that was fun. And you don't know where that's leading.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird because before we started Keep or Cull, I was like, okay, what did you like there? What did you enjoy about that? And we still do that with review games, but Keep or Cull games is more like secretive.
Yeah, and if we play with other players and they be like, oh, is this a Keep or a Cull? We're just like, we can't say.
I don't know.
It's a secret.
I don't know anything. But yeah, those are 8 more games. We are slowly but surely working our way through all the games.
And we called so much today. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, and what I wanted to say was basically, as you said, like the hard choice of keeping or culling.
Yeah.
For me, that is kind of, and you said it many times, and I'm trying to think it every time, like, there is so many games.
Yes.
And the point of Keep or Cull is not to keep everything, because then we can just do keep.
Yeah.
Keep or Keep, the new series of Board Gaming Ramblings, and that's sometimes what I do. But I'm trying to like think. We have piles of games on the floor down here because there's not enough room for games, and we don't want more shelves for games, which means we need to cull games.
We have to take a hard look at our collection, and sometimes I need like a push to be ready to say goodbye to something that has been in our collection for a little while, but even though I've had so much fun with it, doesn't mean that it needs to stay in the collection forever. If I really, really miss it, I'm probably gonna buy it.
Some way to play it. Beyond the Sun, you can play on Board Game Arenas. If you ever want to play that, you can play it there. And then I think is the end. If you're still watching this, I should have said this earlier before we started all this discussion topic. If you're still here and you're thinking, oh, these people have many interesting things to say, or these people are super weird, or as I say, if you just don't hate us, you can give us a victory point. and we really like victory points. It's kind of like a big co-op game, this channel.
Yeah.
So how do you give us a victory point?
We get victory points when you click that subscribe button. You can also click the bell button to get notifications every time we post a new video.
And if you already a subscriber, you can kind of give us like a silver
We need
point.
coins in this game too.
Coin. You give us a silver coin by clicking the like and leaving a comment. And that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.